overthink much? I know I do. Especially now that I don't mask as much or drink as much. And so I'm going to do in this video a real-time parts practice with my overthinking parts as an experiment. I think real-time part practice has been helpful for my clients in the past and for other viewers like you. The parts work that I do comes from internal family systems, and today, just as a little guide, I'm going to use this Back to Self journal. Is one of my favorites. I'll link to that below. It's kind of expensive, but it's super helpful. So the parts that are showing up for me today and have been showing up for a while are major overthinking parts. I made a commitment to myself a couple of months ago to really take my YouTube channel seriously. And I have been getting ready to get ready. And I've been repurposing some old videos and re-editing some past live streams and things like that. Really useful information, but I haven't been opening my heart and what I call sharing my heart and showing my work in a way that I have been able to do for the last 20 years, since 2000, and then since 2008 online. That has been really good for me, really good for my clients and my audience, and really helpful. And the last 3 years, midlife season, the shitstorm hit, and I've been in a really protective mode. So from my paradigm, my overthinking parts, the parts of me, I have a core self and I have parts. And these parts that are creating a block in my behavior, like what's getting in your way, my overthinking is getting in my way. So I'm going to start by just breathing and centering my body. I've already done some breathing and co-regulation with some writing group members. I'm actually in writing practice, don't tell them. And I'm going to take a moment to get quiet and focus in on both my, what I call my yellow heart, my core self, my centered being, the God inside of me, and this part of me that is like a hamster wheel of thoughts getting in my way from taking action on this project that I care about. And so I'm going to ask that part to just give me a little bit of space. And I'm going to let it know that I'm aware of its presence. And I like to say, hello, overthinking, I see you. I won't leave you. I'm here for you. And the first thing I'm doing is just noticing what I'm feeling. I'm feeling tightness in my jaw. I'm feeling tightness across my back and shoulder. I have frozen shoulder right now, and so that's part of it. But I actually think it's also connected. I notice like butterflies in my lungs, not in my belly, but in my lungs. And then the next piece is the thinking. Hello, overthinking. What is it that you want to share with me? And my sense is I get kind of a visual and verbal sense of this part, and she's giggling from anxiety. You know, the way she presents before I connect to her is having so many ideas and a little bit of perfectionism, a little bit of being hard on myself, but not with any mean words. The thinking just doesn't stop. She wants to plan, she wants to write. And these are all ways that she's actually getting my attention. And so when I turn my attention towards her, and I use my breath to pull my energy out of my head and connect. I ask her, what is it you want me to know? And instead of observing her or thinking about what she says, I'm going to actually listen. And I'm listening with all my senses. So listen is the word, but I don't audibly hear anything. But I'm going to tune in directly to her as if I'm having a conversation. So instead of thinking about what that person would say, I'm going to actually hear them. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm here for you. I'm paying attention. What is it you want me to know? And the first thing she says in a really small, kind of young voice is that she's scared. I'm scared, she says. And with as much compassion and calmness, I just meet her scaredness. She's a little curious about how I'm recording this. And I let her know, honestly, that if she wants me to stop, I will. And she says, as long as I'm with you, it's okay. And I let her know I'm with you. And I get that she's afraid. And she is kind of letting me know that she wasn't afraid all those years because she was buried, and she's more at the surface now. And I let her know that that's okay. I'm glad she's here. I'm glad I can connect more directly with her and be here for her. I just notice lots of tightness around my heart, my chest. This is good information, actually. My heart, my chest, my shoulders. And the sense I get from this communication with her, both verbal and sensory, is there's a sense of loss, both personally and professionally in the last few years. There was a heart attack 2 years ago that came from stress, not from clogged arteries. So it was a tear. And she's apprehensive about that. So there's a little bit of physical safety stuff in there for her. And I'm going slow because I just want to, as she shares these things with me, I want to meet her shares with attunement and really hearing, even though I'm sharing with y'all. And I kind of communicate with her, you know, what qualities of self does she need? And the first one is closeness and comfort, compassion. She doesn't say compassion, but she says comfort. And I'm getting a distinct sense of when I was little. It's like she's showing me some past, not specific memories, but a sense of a lot of times when I was afraid, there wasn't comfort. A lot of times when I was dysregulated as a child or overthinking, there was a reprimand instead of drawing closer. There was a separation instead of drawing closer. That's really good information. Okay, that's interesting. I just noticed that the energy that I'm feeling was kind of constrained to my lungs and my ribs and my shoulders and my neck, and it just opened up a little bit into my belly, which is my power center. And this is strange because I don't have a womb anymore. I've had a hysterectomy. That's another thing that happened in the last 2 years. But I notice a sense of also dropping into my second chakra and what would be my abdomen and my womb space, and just holding her. Almost like a cozy little hammock. and allowing her to feel the cocoon of my, let me sense the word that translates. I see a kangaroo and a little baby, like letting her be in my little baby kangaroo pouch. And I ask her how old she thinks I am. And she very clearly says she thinks I'm 14, but she's 4. This is all subconscious stuff, just allowing it to come up. And then I update her and let her know how old I actually am. And I have some essence of memories of 4, especially from photographs. And I definitely have memories of 14. And then I'm actually 52 and have a lot more wisdom, a lot more experience and connected. I have my own home. Things are different now. And I just invite her to be in that. She's not closed in the pocket, like the pocket is open, because she wants to see that I'm here. I can tell she's tired. I bet she's tired. Now, overthinking is exhausting. It feels important to just nourish and support her with a little bit of updating, not only updating my age, but updating that I was diagnosed with ADD a couple years ago, 2.5 years ago, and what that means for her and for me is that when we overthink and when we run so fast, that's kind of part of our wiring. And it has some good and bad qualities to it. It can, it can help us with ideas and creativity, but it can tip over, like it can cross the line into being stressful. And that she's not broken, she's not messed up. There's nothing to fix, that we can just be together and see what emerges when we be together, when I be with her, when I be with my overthinking part or parts. And she giggles. She's like, yeah, there's lots of parts. And that's the sense I'm getting, is just being with her. And now that I feel a little bit of both closeness from her, like she's trusting my closeness, I want to, so I'm not doing this yet, I'm talking about it. I want to bring in the project, this YouTube project. I want to bring in this, this protective work that she's doing. She's trying to protect me. She's afraid. She's afraid of being hurt. She's afraid of losing friendships. She's afraid of failing. So I want to get consent from her, see if she's willing to, from this place of being held in my belly, close to me, is she willing to visit with me and share with me and open up about her trying so hard to protect me in the context of this YouTube project? And she says yes, kind of pulls the covers up, like peeking her eyes out, like, yes. And that gives me a sense to go slow with her. I'm not here to coach or parent or teach her. I may have some update information to share with her, but my job is to really listen to her and why she is running so strongly and butting up for me against this project. And what I notice is a sense of comparison, a sense of exhaustion. It's funny, my eyes just caught my poetry books, and she's like, I just want to read poetry. I just want to read poetry. And I think that's totally something that I can do for her, will do for her. And so I'm going to ask her directly, like, what would you do if you didn't have to work so hard protecting me from, you know, the fears and concerns you have around intentionally growing my YouTube channel or anything in work. That's what she says. She says, it's not just YouTube. It's like going back into work, because I really slowed down my business and my work over the last 3 years. I thought it would be for a year, but it was for 3 years, which has been curious because a lot of protective parts of me were running my business. That's always fun to run a business from. Yeah, I mean, it's human. So she does let me know that it's not just the YouTube. It's also, this is so funny to me, visibility. And I take her seriously because, listen, I have been extremely visible for forever. Most people don't realize that I'm an introvert. I've been extremely visible. And she says very sternly, like flips the covers down and says, I feel beat to shit from being visible. Whoa. Yeah. And there's just such a youngness to her. It's like this young part that when adults say, you're so wise beyond your years. And she's like, I just want to be a little girl. I'm tired of being wise beyond my years. And part of me is so, like, there's another part of me that like wants to have a productive conversation with this overthinking part of me. That's another part. So I'm going to ask it to give me some space, lovingly back off. Slow is actually really helpful for me. For most people, that's kind of like the slower you go, the more it works. The more, and when I say work, I mean it softens and helps these parts trust and relax and unburden. And as long as this overthinking part is carrying these burdens, she's going to keep showing up. And so I'm not going to ask her to leave. I'm just going to let her, again, over and over, probably let her know that I'm here. Today, I want to let her know that she's not responsible for my business, that there are other adult parts of me. There are parts of me that are 52 years old that do have adult responsibilities. And she says, you keep writing in your journal, your needs matter. And I want her to know she's right. Her needs matter too. And so I'm going to tune into what she says are her needs. I know my adult needs, but I'm getting the sense that it's really important to listen to this little one who uses overthinking as this protective tool. She says she needs to go on walks. I just had a vision of my stepdaughter, Samantha, takes her 9-month-old baby, and like this morning the weather is cool and there was just the cutest little picture of them going for a walk. And she's like, I want that. I want to go for those walks. And I let her know that's good because I need to walk too. So the two of us walking together could be really good. And she asks for me to walk without the camera. I think that's valid. I think we can do both and. I think we can do some walks, just she and I, and then I think I can do some adult video walks too. Tuning back into her needs. yeah, there's some attachment stuff that comes up. Like, not in the psychology sense, but I think I get the sense from her that she needs to feel secure attachment. And that makes so much, like, to the logical parts of me and the parts of me that understand what being a child of alcoholics. And, you know, I had a real confusing, in a lot of ways, good childhood, but I had a confusing childhood. I had a view of what was unhealthy. And I didn't realize a lot of what I was living was unhealthy because a lot of it was good. And so there was an unpredictability there. And that she needs predictability in attachment and closeness. And that hits really deep. And so I just want to spend some time acknowledging her shares. And as I check in with her about my day ahead, I have a drive to do for some dog rescue stuff. I have about 3 hours in the car. And I also, as an adult, intend on thinking and doing some work and some listening while I'm in the car. Like, I still have my business mind on. And she knows it's not cold enough to wear a hoodie, but she wants me to imagine she wants to be in the hoodie pocket, in the pocket of my hoodie. And I think that's a good thing for us to do today, to just be together in my hoodie. And I have a part of me that wants to get to these projects and wants to be really good at it and all those things. And I also get the sense from just connecting with her that a slow pace is enough. And so the difference I notice now is that the top of my shoulders and lungs, while I still have frozen shoulder, the frozen is condensed to the actual area of frozen shoulder and not spreading across my back. I feel more open. I feel more, my energy is now able to move into all of my core from my belly and hips. My heart feels about 75% open. I just feel that energy is more, instead of stuck up in my head and up in my shoulders, it's more lengthened and strengthened. And there's just some time to need in being with that. So I'm going to let her know that I appreciate her sharing and connecting with me. I appreciate her letting me share this on video. I'm going to check with her, and she's okay with sharing it. She wants other parts in other people to have the experience of connecting with their people, with their selves, with their yellow hearts. Those are her words. And so, yeah, that's just a little bit of my imperfect internal family systems parts practice. And I'll put some links to this modality and kind of the framework of it, because if you're not familiar with it, you may be like, what the hell was that? And I feel a little bit more free as I go into my day today.